want to give it to him. It got him the pentakill that started K-Corp's meteoric rise in this split here so far in the back half. And of course, a lot of what seems the first wave bans, there's a lot of respect paying here. Azza great on the Jhin, Seiken fantastic on the Rise. It's just about taking away comfort here in this first wave. But in doing so, you leave a lot of OP picks up. I still see like Kench is available, Gwen, Zeri, unless it's banned away by Solary right now. Okay, Lee Sin. That's, again, respect ban.
Respect, a lot of respect ban. So, will we see Reckless opt into a Zeri here? Or will they go for what has been tried and true for 1-1-3? And it will be the Xin Zhao immediately locked in. Have to wonder if Solary are going to put Joko back on what has been, kind of his comfort pick as we saw there on the desk with the earlier graphics. Will they go for the Volibear?
They very likely could pair it with the Zeri here. Probably, as we saw in the last game, it's not a lane you can play to in the early minutes. So if we do see that, Joko maybe will be set up for some ganks, but not necessarily any early three-wave crash dives. I think no matter what 80 carry is, because I don't think Zeri has any good matchups in the first couple of levels here. But you still have a lot of options on Solary's side. A lot of junglers available. There's still the Volibear. There's still the Trundle, things like that. The Poppy, even if you're so inclined to be able to run things, but they're going to go for the Hecarim. See, this I was a little concerned about. I was kind of hoping they would go more for early game, because when you play the Hecarim, for one thing, we keep talking about it, priority lanes are something you have to be looking for here. Things that will win the matchup, even though the Ahri didn't win, it is a good way to get Prio, Syndra, things like that. You need push so this Hecarim can farm safely in the first couple of lanes, and we already see one lane isn't going to have it.
That's certainly the case. And it almost feels like Solary maybe are hoping the Aphelios is picked up, and it is. Reckless did not have a good performance yesterday. No. And well, maybe as long as an Akali doesn't come into play, it might be okay. But a little hover here from Seiken, of course, it's his pick. It would be incredible to see an Aurelion Sol, but I can't imagine that would happen at this point here in the draft. However, they might be looking to try to get themselves the support, pair it up here with the Aphelios, but they also maybe want to get priority. They know that Seiken typically does get target bans, so how about a LeBlanc?
The thing is, though, again, we saw it in the earlier games there with the Oplon Mirage game. You can technically opt into the Vex if you are Solary. It's supposed to be a better matchup. Rangjun just definitely got bodied, I'm not going to lie, by Pang. That wasn't how that one's supposed to play out here. For Solary, I mean, Scarlet is a mid laner, regardless of Solary's successes and failures, who we put a lot of praise towards, and I think he deserves it. He's a very strong, consistent player. I think you give him the Vex, then he will be able to do well. But okay, the Yuumi is actually locked in. So the thing is, too, we see these Enchanter pairings with the Hecarim, and this is really good for trying to scale. You get to the later parts of the game, Hecarim Yuumi, or rather Yuumi Udyr, as much as I despise him, is probably what they're looking for here. But now you open yourself up to some of these bans like the Vex.
Yes, you do open yourself up a little bit. Bans now coming into play here. Thresh, of course, want to make sure that pairing is not there in the bot lane with the Aphelios. Deadly combination. Other side, we do have the Kassadin, so some respect bans being thrown the way of Scarlet as we kind of anticipated with his champion pool, but it is fairly deep. I don't feel like you can ever really ban this man out. Now even another champion thrown at Hantera as they're just going to try to take out some of these supports here and make things a little easier for the Zeri in the bot side.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking that was going to be a Tom Kench ban just because I think that's better with Aphelios right now. But, I mean, you still have that option there if you're Hantera. There's still technically the Enchanter route if you really want to go that way as well. The point is, a lot of options available, and I think K-Corp probably want to just ban away another mid laner. I think you aren't as worried about Kyo's top pool there, and at the same time, banning the Sakali is kind of the twofold ban. You have seen both of these players on Solary play at mid and top, and we kind of talked about it. It is that kryptonite for K-Corp, especially for Reckless, who had a little trouble yesterday.
Yeah. I also kind of like the idea of the draft here, making sure that Kyo gets the last pick, knowing that Cabochard probably is going to be able to find a safe blind potentially. But it will be the Victor that comes in here, so might be a little acceptable to some ganks that could come into play here from the Xin Zhao, but we'll be able to have some of that late game scaling, some of that DPS that is going to be required. And now, what are KC thinking of getting for themselves? Potentially maybe a Pike that could come into play. We know Hantera loves those Pikes.
Pike is good, but it's a little scary, and for that reason, as I think K-Corp are going to run into a similar problem if they don't finish this game very soon, because we saw it in the last game with LDLC. Pike and the Ahri. Late game, non-existent. And that's the thing here. I'm seeing Yuumi, I'm seeing Hecarim, Zeri, and Victor. This is all late game for Solary. The big thing is K-Corp are a team we know who find a lot of success in the early game. They snowball and they stomp.
Yes.
And not always in that order. And the thing too is that Solary don't have a lot of early game pressure, so I think this is the worst team to probably kind of draft this way against, whereas unless you get some sick counterpick top that's going to get you perma-prio, I don't even know what that's going to look like there against the Graves of all things. Maybe you'll see the Jace. The Gnar is fine, but I don't know if you're necessarily going to get permanent priority. I can already see how the early game is going to go. K-Corp going to go for the level 1 play. I'm telling you, they're going to steal a camp from Joko, maybe steal the whole side of the jungle if they get the opportunity. And Seiken and 113's entire job in the first 10 minutes is like, yeah, Joko, you're going to play Hecarim into us? All right. Let's show him. Let's show him what's
time to go back to class, Beatdown.
That's right.
And here we go already. KC looking for some early action in the top side. Going to be able to clear out some of that vision. Solary will make sure they're not in a position where they're going to get caught out. However, they have no idea if they're still in there or not. And Joko, I think maybe now has the confidence to walk up, get a little ward down, knowing if 113 is going to try to move back in or not.
And you already see the bit of ward placement there, and the defensive ward coming through from Solary. Whereas you see, I like the ward on that dot brush because K-Corp, after setting up that vision, they're just going for yet another invade. Now they're going to go for the bottom side here. But these red pings tell me Solary, they want to do something about this, surprisingly. I don't think level 1 is on their side. I'm not going to lie, Austin.
They're going for it. This would not be the first time that KC send it all for the level 1 invade. Remember, it is a Yuumi and a Zeri here to try to add in some support, which is not something that's going to give you a lot of confidence. Reckless, however, has confidence.
Oh, he's autoing
he's going to stop Joko from being able to move in for the Wolves, and the hook is going to pull it back. The smite, however, comes down, and now Joko is level 2. 113 still on the camp, level 2 for him. This is a very awkward start here to a League of Legends game. However, everyone now will go their separate ways as it's still the blue buff taken away here.
You're very scrappy, but you get the buff there if you're K-Corp. You're happy about that, and you have the play.
Oh my,
3 talent strike!
Can you believe it? Asa gets taken down before he can even walk into his own lane. Welcome to playing Karmine Corp.
Wham bam, thank you, man. Unfortunately, you can't cleanse that 3 talent strike. And what does that mean? You're going to allow 113 to take most of this bottom side. There isn't much Steelback's actually going to be able to do it. He's only happy they let him walk away with his life here. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait. Steelback feels pretty confident
as long as he steals
now.
it. Oh,
Exhaust is going to
stolen.
come through. Asa does flash, but it's in trade of a flash for 113. So 113 extremely chunked out, but does come away with the Gromp, comes away with the blue, and now it's a matter of what Joko can try to get back.
The thing is, he didn't. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had to flash away because it was Asa who picked up the healing. Which, I mean, you're still happy about that, but the thing is, you bought enough time for Joko to be able to go ahead and actually steal the blue buff in response here. And, I mean, this original play is awesome because Asa's like, oh, I'm fine. They took the blue. They're going to leave. Funny story about that.
Yeah. No. Oh, nice hook there coming out as well. And Steelback, not a lot to offer, of course. Level 1 on the Yuumi, so feeling the pressure already. As it's going to be KC dictating a lot of what's going to happen here in the lane. But 113, he's still very low. He picked up the red, so he's going to start to get some regen. And Seiken has also moved over. They are threatening a level 3 play on the bot lane of Solary. Remember, no flash, but who could set up the play? Minion wave starting to be dealt with. Seiken now in the mix. Here comes the teleport, trying to save them. Huntera takes it up and gets out.
You're kidding.
And they're able to find another kill. Asa, he is not allowed to play the game right now.
Clean as a whistle, Austin. They look like they want to go back in. Now they have 113.
Another TP's coming in. Scarlet's so low. He should be taken down, but it's in trade of a kill. Scarlet at least gets one, and now Keo wants something for the teleport. Will he be able to find Huntera? Yes, he will. So good recovery, at least 2 kills back over to Solary.
Yeah, the solo laner's picking up this gold is going to be pretty impactful here. Keo needs to immediately recall and go back to the top side. I think ultimately this dive was really nicely done there. You still have level 2 on the Xin Zhao though, so it is a little harder to threaten this, but it's still as clean as you could possibly be. Teleport or not, it's easy for Huntera to use that Phantom Undertow to help secure the kill. I think going again for the dive, though, was definitely a little risky, because you did have a pretty big enough wave, but 113 was still not level 3.
You see it there. Reckless tanks at the first one. 113 unfortunately did end up tanking the second. And that will be just a freebie there for Keo as he comes through with the teleport. But now no TPs on either of the solo laners, and the action is not done. 113, he is just in the bot lane. He is part of the bot lane. I mean, it's not a 2v2, it's a 3v2. And 113 just trying to get into the heads of the members here of Solary, where Azza has surprisingly 19 CS. He is trying to recover the best he possibly can, but it's a lot of the experience that he missed out on both of those kills. So he's going to be feeling it. Meanwhile, Joko, he has not really been too involved in any of the plays, but has at least been farming and will have an advantage over 113 as far as the experience.
Yeah, and part of it is because Joko basically got the one camp he lost back earlier on because of all that skirmishing there with Azza over that Gromp. And what that means is Joko's been able to pretty safely farm back up. Then instead, K-Corp, instead of pressuring Joko, they want to pressure Azza, one of the big damage dealers in that late game. We've been talking about it all day long. Zeri's very weak until you get those two items, until you get past that level 8-9 mark where you get some really nice stats under your belt. What that means is setting him behind here, putting him 0-2 is a really good way to start things off.
Yeah, Keo, he does not have level 6. He invested the teleport. He lost a wave because of it. Cabochard is going to punish him for it, and now he goes into Mini-Gnar, which means he is very acceptable to a potential kill that could come through. The ultimate's there! Gabo, he's looking for it, but has to be very careful. You can also flash the auto when it's a grave, so he will have to completely back away, and he'll have to concede the wave.
Right, I mean, you don't force him to blow the flash, but he loses more gold and XP, and you're giving turret plates over to Cabochard. We talked about how impactful of a player he is, so him getting all this extra gold, I think is a great boon there for KC, and so's this dive.
We're going again, 4 members here for KC,
Whoa!
But it's a lot of damage on 113, and this time they'll be punished for it. Luckily, Joko was here. But are they going to try to move back through? Azza very low. Pantera tanking up the tower.
Wow.
They're going to be able to find one. He's still tanking, but can no longer do so. Reckless is actually now in lethal range. Asaken goes in, and Asaken is down.
What are we doing?
They're going for too much. KC toying with their food. They're the ones that get punished for the play.
Very well
And a good play here from Joko is there to cover it.
Yeah, it's insane. Waiting for the distortion, using that devastating charge to knock him back into tower range. You're right. K-Corp going for too much on that bottom lane, and now this Hecarim, who's supposed to be weak early, is 2-0. He's got a lot of gold to play with, and he's getting close to level 6. And the healing from this Yuumi is insane. You get it onto Joko with the summoner spell, with the mounting, of course, and they just try to go again. Even though they are able to get Azza, they push a little too much. You should be happy for 1-for-1 at this point here, especially because Reckless isn't able to participate anymore.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, 113 has just not really been farming either. He's just been coming back to the bot lane, and well, I'll tell you what, KC, certainly one of the most exciting teams to watch here in the LFL, and this is why, because they are not scared to go for play after play. But Joko now realizing this, he's going to come down into the bot side. He's got the Yuumi on top of him. That's the ultimate. And well, looks like Reckless getting some more of that treatment from yesterday. That will be another kill. This one over to Azza, but 113 is here. Saken as well. Little 3 versus 4 action. Will they be able to get in here? That's going to be the knockup. That's the kill. And now maybe a second as Azza tries to zoom out. Will be able to flash and is able to at least get out with his life.
Yeah, but again, you see K-Corp putting so much attention on the bottom lane there. You take Joko out of the picture, you're going to be able to invade and take camps if you want to. And more importantly, Azza is under threat yet again. Level 4 to Reckless is 5, down 20 CS, and there's another wave coming here for the 80 carry of K-Corp. Actually, Reckless has rotated over to the mid lane to catch the wave that Saken ended up abandoning, just so that not too much gold and XP is lost here.
Oh yeah, the top lane exists. I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. Like top laners, Graves, Gnar. It's tickling something in my memory. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I saw this in the draft.
Maybe,
if I remember correctly.
Could be. I mean, that's probably what Joko and 113 are thinking.
Yeah, it's exactly it. They have not really come up to the top side whatsoever here. And I mean, to be fair, Cabochard has been able to build up a bit of a lead off that TP. But that is, you know, in trade of a kill that was picked up for Keo. So I would say the goal is likely around even, but the experience is not. Cabochard will have that advantage. He's also not interested in freezing this wave. He wants to kind of keep the pressure on, be able to rotate over, because the Rift Herald has now spawned, or rather has been up for about a minute 30. So both junglers are going to see each other. 113 still not level 6, but Joko is going to be taken down. That is so much damage, and he goes over the wall at the wrong time.
I can't believe this. So many botched plays from K-Corp, and I love this about them. They're not scared to keep it going. They're like, listen, yeah, sure, we failed 2 out of 4 plays, but if we keep trying and then it becomes like we fail 4 out of 10 plays, well, then we're positive, baby. That's what matters here. The more shots you take, the more likely they are to succeed, obviously.
Well, a lot of shots have been fired this game.
Sure have.
For sure. 11 kills here.
God.
At 10 minutes. And objectives are still up for the taking. The Rift Herald, sure, it goes over, but there's still an Infernal Dragon. I have to imagine that's going to draw some attention. And Cabochard has now also picked up his first item. He's just been happily farming here in the top side. And he's also going to take some of the camps because he knows 113 is not taking them. So he's like, well, I might as well reset them and get higher levels for your camps here, buddy. I know you're not coming up here, so next time you do, you know, you'll have a level 2 Gromp. That might actually be a level 1 Gromp. I have no idea. But Infernal is still on the table, like I was mentioning. Bot lane priority looking good right now for the side of KC. They can let this wave either come into them, they can push it back. They have a lot of options. And then, of course, they have the Pyke that will always be able to move around the map here first.
Right, and we're still in this early game where Pyke is extremely effective here. He has the Moby boots, able to move around the map very, very quickly, as a Pyke does. And it means that these skirmishes are going to go very well for you if you're K-Corp. Think about this. Even though Joko has had a level advantage for some time, even before 113 had ultimate, he's playing Xin Zhao, man. He's got the base stats. He's got the CC to take this horsey down. And all this priority, all these kills onto Reckless, all this pressure onto Aza amounts to 1 dragon and maybe a kill mid.
Pretty clean. Flash there from Scarlet. Oh, a flash from
hello.
Satan. He gets in there, but it might be a trade kill. Will be a trade kill. Joko will be able to get right back there in time to make it a 1-for-1.
Still, you have 3 members mid. I think you can drop this Rift Herald. That's 2 big ultimates there from Joko and Steelback. There isn't any way they should be able to stop this, especially with Reckless. Having access to the Crescendo means he's going to be able to do a lot of damage to these turrets.
Keo is also going to have to rotate over here.
Joko
is going to be a little careful. Teleport is going to be forced out from Scarlet, and he's going to be able to move back through and catch the majority of that wave. So they do decide to hold on to the Rift Herald. It's only about halfway through that cooldown. So still have plenty of time to be able to bring it back out here for yourself. Meanwhile, Cabochard, he's going to take full advantage of these movements here from Keo, and he's now collected a couple plates off the top turret.
This is what I'm talking about, man. Laners of K-Corp, how well they're able to play their individual matchups. Cabochard has just been the CEO of top lane right now. Up 30 CS in complete control here, and Keo's just been doing his best to try and farm. He's close to that hull breaker, but he's still so far behind of Cabochard as a whole here. So you got to imagine, if we get involved in these 5v5s, Cabo's going to have a lot of impact similar to Aggressivu did yesterday. But the thing worth noting, when you have 2 hull breakers in the game, we look at the 4v4. How good are you going to be at skirmishing early on? And I still favor K-Corp for the next little bit here in this game because Aza's been put behind like you wouldn't believe. He's building the steel caps, which just sucks as an 80 carry. And the fact is, champs like Victor aren't really up there or online just yet, but you look at Seiken, you look at Reckless and 113, their champs are online, they're good to go. They don't even need the 1-item spike. That's just gravy.
Reckless actually having such a big advantage over Aza, who needs those items to be effective. If you want to rely on this champion, rely on this carry, you need to be able to get some gold into it. God. Now top lane. Let's use the Rift Herald. That is going to be good for the first tower of the game. Cabochard doesn't even need to do any more damage to that. Shelly will get the job done, and all of it being funneled right into Cabochard.
Jeez, and look at that gold grab. Look at the lead spike there. 1,300 gold, and this is the 1v1 where Cabochard should be able to guarantee that second charge here. He's got 2 levels on Keo. He's going to be able to threaten this turret just a little bit here. Oh my god, look at this damage.
2 levels. I mean, meanwhile, you got 113 who's bullying out 2 people. Joko has a cat on top of him, sitting on his lap, and can only sit there and watch because this has just been 113 dictating all of the pressure, moving in, using his tempo, and more advantages being taken here for the side of Karmine Corp. And now another movement, another rotation back to the mid lane, putting Scarlet under pressure, making sure no one's ever safe. as he's going to have to make sure he has the fancy feet to dodge out on the skill shots.
Yeah, the cover from Huntera and 113 has been insane. You know, Cabochard is probably the target of some threat when you push that deep in the top lane. He's there. You want to make a play onto mid line, they're there too. You just can't do anything right now. If you're Scarlet, you're still just biding your time. And at the moment, this point in time, you're down 3,000 gold, and you have very few ways to play it out. Unless you can force a fight in the Dragon, you get a big onslaught of shadows. Keo joins with that Gnar ultimate. Maybe you have something to show for it, but right now, Aza, all he has to show for it is that he's going to lose more farm.
Reckless going to get the shove. Seiken is here. He's able to push out mid lane, and this immediately signals, all right, can we walk up to the mid lane, or rather, can we walk up to our tower? Can we get this wave? Joko will spot out 113, and they are just losing full control of their jungle. But KC won't try to force anything else. Looks like they're going to take at least a couple of resets before we get back onto the map here, and we're now about 55 seconds away from that second dragon.
That's what Corp are looking for here. All this bottom pressure means they're going to be able to stack dragons, play for that win con to end the game as soon as possible, because again, that's what their draft is looking to do here. And look at the map right now.
Yeah, look at the vision.
That's what I mean. Like, so much is in control of Corp, and oh yeah, sure, they can go into Cabochard. He's got Hullbreaker.
Oh wait,
okay,
we'll
now
go
he's
down
dead.
here. Victor is going to be able to add in quite a bit of damage, but it is Keo that collects the kill. I'm sure you wanted to get that over to Scarlet here potentially.
Yeah.
However, that's 3 ultimates down. Should mean that KC have a free dragon here for themselves.
Yeah, we'll close the gold lead between Keo and Cabochard a bit.
Ooh.
Oh, you're kidding me. Like, that's just LeBlanc things right there. And that pressure and that vision you were talking about, Austin. Corp, they have wards all over the place. Ghost Poro goes crazy, apparently, because you could see them all. Oh,
what a hook over the wall! And
Did he
he'll
just guess?
follow. I don't know. I think he dropped the pink ward there, but what a hook. It pulled him right over. Aza not having a good showing here on the Zeri, that's for sure. Meanwhile, KC also grabbed themselves the bot lane tower here. They're just taking what they want, stacking this gold lead up more and more as they sit at 3,000 ahead.
All right, Austin, before I make my point, I got a question for you.
Oh, no.
Scale of 1 to 10, how pissed?
I don't think there's a number. I don't think there's a number.
Yeah, there's probably not, dude. Aza's just been the target of so much pressure all game long. He's 1-4. He's down 50 CS, and they're just bullying the poor guy on this pick. They say, you want to pick Zeri? You want to hyper carry? All right, we'll see about that one. Like we said, Professor Karmine says class is in session, and they've been putting on a mostly masterclass on how to play the early games. Things have definitely been a bit mixy, a little bit back and forth here, but it's Corp who are largely in control.
Oh, Solary, so good at taking the Rift Herald. This is really their go-to objective, and they haven't been able to contest either one. 2 Rifts picked up for KC, 2 Dragons picked up for KC, 2 Towers picked up for KC. Hope you're noticing the trend. They're taking everything, all of the objectives. And it feels like Solary are in this position where they're just hoping, praying they can get to the later stages of this game so that they can be effective with their composition. But I mean, the Zeri is so far behind, not even picking up this first item. Reckless, he's almost working on his second here.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna do what I call the Hopium Hour here for Solary fans. All right, I'm gonna call it the Copium Hour actually, because that's kind of the position we're really in here. So the Copium is that Solary, of course, again, scale incredibly well into the later parts of the game. Victor, Zeri, Hecarim, Yuumi, that's disgusting. Like, I'm gonna puke. So the thing is, though, we're only 18 minutes in the game. You're getting snowballed by Corp. You need to slow the game down here and try to not take any fights. And if that means Aza has to sacrifice more gold and XP, so be it. Because giving kills over to Corp is what's letting them accelerate the game. If you let them move at a normal pace, you will get to key item spikes there. 2 items, to be specific, for the big damage dealers of Solary. That's what you're looking for, and if you can get there, you have the team fight tools to get your way back into this game. Even with Keo being far behind, he has utility with that CC. Even with Joko not being able to have a huge impact so far in terms of this early game pressure, will be able to run in there with that final chapter, with that onslaught of shadows to set up your carries. That's the goal.
A lot of damage there. Oh, the ultimate, though, comes out. So Scarlet doesn't get good usage of it, and also means that they're going to be zoned off from entering in through mid. At least for a second, they are able to force their way in slightly after. We take a look at the top side. Cabochard starting to get a lot of work done, and now Huntera has also moved up. They're looking for a kill on the mini-Gnar. Keo, though, will be able to jump away, but it's still a win for KC as they'll collect another tower. It's
more gold in their pockets, and at least an opportunity for Keo to hang back because of how far this lane has been pushed in, but it just opens up more opportunities for Cabochard to, one, get to this 3-item mark, which he's just speeding towards at light speed, and also this opportunity for him to be able to shove this lane very deeply, or whoever, and then join up with the team for one of the several plays that they've been looking to make. And the only thing left that you really want to be running with here is setting up for this dragon. That's why you see Seiken in the bottom side there, just pushing this wave out, allowing the continuation of all this vision that K-Corp have been asserting on the Solary side of the map, keeping it nice and dark.
It's just so scary too, because like you say, like who's here? How many? There's a pipe, there's a LeBlanc. These are such mobile assassins that can just pop out of the darkness and just completely destroy you, one-shot you, you name it. It just feels like they are suffocated and they don't have a lot of options here. And look at Seiken, just come over this wall. Oh, you want to walk up? Want to come and get this wave? Well, you're under threat, you're under fire, and as soon as you misstep, Seiken can one-pop you. So everything looking more and more difficult here for Solary. 0 towers, the gold lead still building as things are getting more and more out of hand. 5,000 gold here at the 20-minute mark, and now we're about a minute away from that 3rd dragon here for KC2.
And that's going to be a big deal. K-Corp, as much as Solary are in the dumpster right now. Oh, hold that thought.
Reckless, he's the target. 113 is here. We'll be able to stop him right in his tracks and make sure that the pony's not coming through and doing any damage.
Yeah, and so the big thing I was going for here is that even though K-Corp have basically put Solary in the dumpster here, if Solary can somehow secure this Drake, prevent that soul point from coming through, that'll be a big deal here for this squad, just to be able to buy themselves 5 more minutes to scale, 5 more minutes to get to those key item breakpoints that can be game-winning on their end. But getting a pick on the Reckless would be a great way to secure that, but you don't even force them to blow a summoner. You get pressure, though, and you do get the opportunity to push 113 kind of out of the area here as Cabochard is coming to collapse.
Pretty big ultimate to lose for this fight, which I think signals, all right, it's on our dragon. Hook won't hit, does not connect. Seiken in the back line does not really find too much chip damage here, so Solary still feel confident to move in. Mega-Gnar is available. Here we go. Joko looking for the angle in, but it's going to be good kiting here from 113. Keo still yet to use the ultimate, and it's going to be ticking away. There's the flash. There's the play. Damage here from Reckless in the back, and Cabochard escapes with his life. Big sidestep there from the Zeri. And now they take one back. Scarlet is down. Resets here for the Pike. Solary, they're pushed down to the river. This is no longer their fight. 3rd dragon over to KC.
Nobody plays early like KC. Nobody skirmishes like KC. What a chaotic fight. And it looked like Solary had it in their favor, but no. The blue wall is insurmountable as K-Corp will get their 3rd Drake of the game, 1 away from the game-winning Mountain Soul. Solary can't find an angle. They can't find a way. And if you were looking at Cabochard's health, they can't even find a kill.
Man, that was looking like it was the chance, it was the opportunity, but Scarlet can't follow up with that damage from the Chaos Storm that he just used previously onto Reckless. They found a target, but finding the kill, boy oh boy, is it ever a struggle here. And now the 3rd dragon is in, more resistances from the Mountain Dragon going to help stack up KC, making it more and more difficult to find these picks, more and more difficult to win these fights. Nantera going to get some of that deep vision down here, get an idea of what's happening, where players are. Joko, is he going to look here for Nantera? Easy, right over the wall here. And now it's just a bit of a standoff. Is it an engage? It is an engage. They'll find Joko, but he's got a Yuumi. They pull him right back, and he's forced to use the Onslaught of Shadows. As he goes in, finds a little bit of damage, but will not be able to find any kills.
Oh, it's a great pick. That's a great find for KC, rather. You never like to use the Onslaught of Shadows defensively. That means Joko, if KC go for the Baron right now, they don't really have a way to force a fight, but I don't think K-Corp are looking to do that just yet. Reckless, definitely in a strong position right now, but one, he's in the mid lane. I don't think he has the greatest guns to get it done at the moment here, so they're just going to go back to farming, forcing ultimates. Applying this pressure is enough for K-Corp right now, because all they really want to do is keep pressure on and vision on this top side of the map, because as long as they control here, it means Solary can't go for some kind of miracle Baron play as K-Corp wait for their Dragon Soul.
Cabochard gets to start pushing out onto the tier 2. You can see assist pings coming down. Joko doing damage. Yuumi will be able to heal him back up, however. And you are still waiting for some of that anti-healing to potentially come through for KC. Maybe they feel like they don't even need it, but this will at least enable Cabochard while all the action happens at the top side. Hull Breaker is doing work. And that's another tower picked up for Cabo.
You know, I have a funny story for you.
Oh, yeah?
So yesterday, you know how Memento and the rest of Mirage, they had Raxo on the Yuumi?
They did.
You know how they lost that game. Not a single bit of Grievous Wounds was built. Did you know that? I noticed that, and I was like...
Disturbing.
That was disturbing, and they still lost. Or they still won, rather, on the side of...
Maybe they know something I don't.
Maybe Grievous Wounds is bad. That's gotta be it.
It's gotta be it.
Yeah, I mean, like, so far no one on K-Corp has built it.
Well, you kill the champion that has the Yuumi. I guess the Yuumi can't heal them, can
True.
they? 113 does use the caressing guard.
Hello.
That's a big flank in the back line, and Sankin sets up that fight beautifully. Death from below is in. KC will take down 3, and now they get to move in for the Baron Nashor.
And this is a different story here. They weren't looking to take it, but oh, Solary, if you insist, if you're going to give us 3 picks, then fine, don't mind if I do. And that's going to be just them furthering the gold lead here, pushing it to 10,000 gold. And you know what? We talk about scaling, Austin. When you're down 10K, I don't know if that matters anymore. Solary are officially in the dumpster, on the pain train, in the blender, as we're 2 minutes away from the Soul Dragon and the nail in the coffin.
I'll tell you what, I never want to be there, but I guess we'll get another look at it here. The hook, beautifully done. They follow up the CC, and then it's Sakin's flank here in the back.
Dude, the big distortion is going to come through. You have the Moonlight Vigil with the Infernum for all that damage. It was just meant to happen here, the way they chunked them down and set up for Huntera's ultimate. And it's just that easy. You walk up to the Baron, you secure the big purple worm, and now this advantage, this ability to control apparently every part of the map just gets exasperated for K-Corp, as they're just going to keep moving on, keep invading, and keep making the Solary side of the map a dark forest.
Over 10,000 gold, Scarlet, Joko, Steelback, all waiting in the brush, and now the surprise. Hello, 113, but he's got the caressing guard, able to buy some time. Huntera also can go fishing for a hook, but they're only going to get the ultimate out, and now Cabochard is here to guide the wave as they can start setting up all the lanes at once here. You even have Sakin in the top side pressuring.
Right, it's really good. Waves are basically synced up.
He has to flash away, but now Joko is in. Steelback is here as well with the final chapter. 113, no ultimate, will be taken down by Joko. Cabochard trying to kite this one out. He is very tanky. He is extremely strong. Huntera tries to assist him, pulls one back, but I think Cabochard knows this is only going to go one way unless he can get to Reckless and Sakin. They can't finish off the kill. Aza's way too deep. Aza is down. Cabochard now able to continue the fight as Keo, he's lost the Meganar. It is going horrible, but they do manage to at least get one back. The damage is good for Scarlet. Still, however, a 1 for 2 in favor of the side of Solary.
This is it. This is going to be your chance, if any at all. You're going to have a full 5 of Solary just after the dragon spawns, but it's tough. You're so far behind, it feels like in the 5v4, you finally are on even footing with K-Corp, and because of how much they have to dedicate to, one, clearing vision and staying on their side of the map, Austin, they don't even get to fight for it. That's Mountain Soul for K-Corp, shields and a lot of resistances.
From bad to worse, as if it wasn't 10,000 gold.
Yeah.
Now it's a Mountain Soul. Oh, Solary. A game they need to beat down.
Yes.
A game they absolutely need, as they were 8-6 coming into this week. You thought things were looking better. You thought they might have had what it take to take down these best teams here in the league, but it's been tough. It's been extremely tough, and now they have to pull out the miracle. Rabbit out of the hat here for us, and you are looking at Scarlet to potentially get the job done, as you often do. You still have Keo, who's also been able to farm himself up and get to a point where he could be impactful with an ultimate here, but he's got to be able to time these Meganars properly. He has to get into the backline, has to find a window in. That is going to be the difficulty. Especially
with TP being down for as long as it is right now, a couple minutes before he even has such an option, and it's tough, even with level 16 and working his way towards his 3rd item.
Sure.
Solary, they're too far behind. Like you said, it would be miraculous to be able to find such an angle here for Solary, and as to their chances in playoffs at 0-2 week, would certainly hurt them and be terrible if you are fans of Solary or Solary themselves. But I'll tell you who's happy about that. Gamers Origin, Game Ward fans, because they're the ones who are both vying for the spot that Solary does currently hold.
They sure are. KC still yet to get inside of the base, as we get closer and closer to that 30-minute mark, there are no objectives to take on the map here. So can Solary try and defend, hold the base, hold on to these towers as the pressure commences in the top side here. Tower getting a little low. Cabashard is just going to destroy it. Hantera, though, he's made a massive misplay. Has to go into the stasis. Right to the backline is Joko, but Hantera has been able to kite away effectively. And now while that happens, Reckless is going to take down the mid lane tier 3.
That is just so much more gold in this 80 carries pocket. And I think the big reason Keo doesn't find the angle to go in is because they see Seiken on the ward. They realize, okay, this guy's not by himself. He's getting the hover. We have to be very, very careful. And Solary, the story of this game all day long is just having all your waves pushed into your turret. Look at this. When was the last time Solary had a wave past the halfway point? I actually want to know.
When was the last time they went into their jungle?
God, I couldn't tell you. It's been I'm sure, I don't even know if they know the way anymore.
Oh, they might not. I'm starting to lose vision of it, and I can see the whole map.
Yeah, because, I mean, look where the camera's panning. It's always panning further than the jungle. That's where everything's happening.
That's exactly it here. It's been a little bit difficult, but still closing this game out. KC have yet to been able to find the angle in. I think they're going to wait for this Baron to likely spawn in about a minute, and that's when Solary are going to have to figure out the directions to their jungle, because giving over a Baron to this team at this point to the game with this big of a gold lead is absolutely devastating and would likely mean the game here for us, as Hantera already getting some of that vision down. And this is the best part about Pyke, because you don't need anyone with you when you do this. You're so safe, and you really have a lot of threat with you as soon as you pop that W. And you're able to at least get all of the vision down. And now resets coming through one last time before KC actually start to set up and move in for the Baron Nashor.
All right, and we're coming back to beat down Scopian Hour, because I feel like it's been a little while, you know? And here's the thing. Solary, you look at Scarlet, he just finished the Lichbane, and even in previous fights, dude, his damage is kind of unreal, if we're being honest here. This is why you pick Victor. He's very strong. Asa did get to that point that you're looking for, and we saw some skirmishes come through for Solary. Now, I'm not going to say the chances are high, because that would be very dishonest and distasteful. However, the chances are above 0. And when you think about the teamfight tools Solary have, they probably aren't going to try and YOLO it for the Baron. It's going to be about the Elder Dragon. We're 2 minutes until that happens, and that's why you just see them pushing out bottom, because they're going to collect some objective bounties. They're going to be able to clear out some vision at least, and finally walk past their jungle into the middle of the map. And hopefully they're going to be able to at least get K-Corp to bleed some gold and XP so they can set up for this Elder.
Baron secured. 1-1-3, good with the smite. No one can get in there and contest it. So now that the Baron is in, and the gold lead is up to 62,000 here.
God damn.
Unbelievable. And now a hook. We'll see if Joko can get himself out. You do not want to have to invest in ultimate to escape with your life, and he's able to hold on to it, so still has it available. And now Solary, they might have to look at making the play. Can they find an angle in? There's so many threats right now for the side of K-Corp.
Oh my God.
They're going to be able to just obliterate the mid lane inhibitor and find the first one.
Solary might not be able to make it to the Elder Dragon. Keo has Mega. This is a window if they want to do something here, but you still have Scarlet trying to clear this mid wave. Seiken, though, he's just going to look.
Seiken's getting a lot of damage there onto Joko. Yuumi will be able to heal you up. Remember, she scales beautifully as the second inhibitor in the top side. Now exposed. It is being shredded and taken down.
Here's the angle.
But has not been secured. Solary, do they have an angle in? Keo's just lost the Mega Gnar, and now the Aphelios ultimate, combined with the collateral damage, has been able to chunk out multiple members. That gives them the timing to move up and secure the second inhibitor.
You can see it, that bottom wave is building though, and the pings are coming through. Everyone's going to recall on the side of K-Corp and focus their efforts on the middle and bottom side of the map. They don't care about top anymore. It's auto-pushing. The inhib is down. They barely care about mid, to be honest. It's just going to be about maintaining control over this jungle and maintaining control over this bot push, because that buff is up in 5 seconds, Austin. Elder Dragon and Solary's absolute last chance.
How do you walk to it? How do you walk to it with a Pyke, and Joko's over the wall? He's
no
gonna
way,
have to ult
no
out.
way.
He's got to ult out, but his Zeddy ults in, and Keo is not there to follow up. Solary just lost one of the main pieces of their composition. The Elder is secured. KC are looking for the win, but it is a kill back. Azza has been able to get a couple of items in his pocket, and this will maybe slow things down for a second. We'll see if KC continue to go. It is still 4-on-4.
Yeah, that's the big thing, though. But you have Reckless showing up. All this damage, the big damage on K-Corp's team, hasn't even shown up yet. And now that he's here, now that he has 4.5 items good to go, Reckless is here to end the game with his team. That's going to be the third inhib falling. And even if they went 1-for-1, K-Corp can close it out here.
Baron, Elder, Solary have to make their move. And KC have everything they need. The minions, there's the flash, there's the play. Damage comes through and they'll take down Scarlet. Mid laner is done. Keo with the ultimate but throws them the wrong way. Won't be able to find anything in KC. They will find the win. It was a long extended game, but they get the job done and they will